Maharaj. Srila Moidas,
Dandavat Maharaj.
Baraha Krishna Das, Dandavad.
Dandavas Maharaj.
Dandavad. And Parama Bhakti Devidasi, Dandavad.
¿Estás conectando en unos minutos, Maharaj?
Seguro que sí.
Bueno, ya mi reverencia a sus pies, Maharaj.
Sí, Dandavad. A Lakshmi Priya, Devidasi, a Krishnendrani, a Lakshmi Priya allá en Colombia, en Duitama, Jai Vardhan Prabhu, also.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavad Jai Vardhan Prabhu.
Dandavat Nidhi Maharaj.
And Pran Krishna
Dandavat,
Prabhu, Dandavad. Ramanuja Das, Ishani Didi, Isha Shakti allá en la Ciudad de México. Mojita
Dandavat
Krishna
Maharaj.
Prabhu, teníamos tiempo de no verle. Dandavad.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat all devotees worldwide.
Dandavad Jayasri. Dandavad.
And Ratnanaba.
Dandavat.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Swarna Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam. Mulasiya Sarusate.
Ishani Dandavad.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam Srila Bhakti Kushala Maharaj.
Dandavad Prema Sundari. Dandavad. Aquí tenemos también
Dandavat Maharaj.
Santi a Krishna Kishore Prabhu, allá en Londres, digo en Inglaterra. Satyabhama.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat Nidhi Maharaj.
Dandavad.
Dandavat.
Y Gaurangi Dasi, Sulalita.
Dandavat Pranam Srila Maharaj.
Dandavad, Gaurangi. Prema Sindhu. Chaitanya Vigrahadas. Y aquí está entrando Janardhan Maharaj ya.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavad. Chaitanya Vigraha Prabhu. Dandavad. Where are you?
I'm from Malaysia, Maharaj.
In Malaysia, okay.
Yeah.
Which city? In KL?
Johor Bahru, just beside Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Johor Bahru.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Border Singapore.
Okay.
How are you, Maharaj?
Fine, thank you. And happy to see here Niriha Maharaj and many other devotees which we have not been seeing them for some time.
Yes, Maharaj.
Dear Shilashra Maharaj, almost all of us, we were in the meeting organized by Mahalakshmi and Ravindra Krishna Prabhu. Connect us with Shripad Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj. And it was a wonderful meeting. There was kirtan to begin with, so we were needing that beautiful kirtan. We needed. Okay. We were so used to Srila Chachadev starting with kirtan the meetings, so this was so nourishing. And we all feel hope because Nidhi Maharaj feels that he, with the blessings and the support of the Guru Varga, he can go ahead. So today is a very happy and a special day, really.
Very good.
Sri Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj ki
Jai.
Sri Ashram Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Ashram Maharaj.
Yes.
Did you see our program pictures?
Not yet. Today, not yet. I just traveled from our center there in Yucatan, in Ticul, Yucatan. I just traveled to the city of Monterrey, a city placed in the northern east part of the country. Then I have been a little behind my mail correspondence or WhatsApp messages, things like that. But I will see. I will see it as soon as possible.
We lost a devotee here named Tulasi Devi Dasi. So
Oh.
please pray for her. She's Kapila Prabhu's mother-in-law and Bhuvaneshwari Didi's mother. She
Kapila.
left last Wednesday. She's Acharya Dev's disciple.
Whose mother is she?
Kapila Prabhu.
Kapila Prabhu. Okay.
No, the mother-in-law.
Yes, mother-in-law. All right. Kapila Prabhu. Dandavad, Dandavad. Well, we always give our condolence, no, to all our members when they lost, no, their dear ones, the family members, especially if they are like anyone. I was going to say, especially if they are devotees, but whether devotees or not, they have their sons, their daughters, devotees, and we appreciate very much that life. And naturally that we pray so that the Lord, who is the most merciful one and the one who cares most about any one of his living entities or creatures, that they will always see after her and accompany her and protect her in his way back to Godhead, back to God, back to him.
Thanks, Maharaj. This is Bhuvaneshwari Didi. This is the mother. The mother is Tulasi Devi Dasi.
All right. Dandavad. Mahalakshmi and Ravindra Krishna Prabhu, they have been sending me some pictures of the programs there in Singapore. But then later on, I asked them that to please describe the names of all of you, because some of the devotees really we don't know. And as a matter of fact, as soon as you start relating with someone in a personal basis, means knowing their names and their relatives, and naturally you start knowing a little bit more about that community, that particular community. Then I'm very happy that they sent to me the names, and by the pictures I can see who is that son or who is that girl, which are the names of her parents, like that, no? Everything, every little bit about everyone, what they are doing, they are studying, they are no, what they. So that gives us a little more touch to make a relationship.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, Dandavad.
Thank you.
Dandavad. And we are accompanying you. When she passed away?
Last
She
Wednesday.
passed on the 16th of February, Maharaj. Last Wednesday.
10th of February, February 10th.
16.
15, okay, 15, all right, 15.
16, Maharaj. And
16, okay,
yes.
I'm a little deep.
yeah, and Shripad Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj has graciously agreed to do a Vaishnava Seva at Nrsimhapali for her.
All right,
Yeah.
very good. Where are you now, Nidhi Maharaj? At present, sound Maharaj, it seems your sound is off.
Nrsimhapalli Maharaj, Nrsimhapalli.
In Nrsimhapali, all right. Okay. We saw Nidhi Maharaj when he was at Eka Chakra, Virachandrapur, few days back, for the festival of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Well, wonderful. We also got some news. You know, this is the life in this world. is very painful, and we have been feeling some heart pain because of constantly, because we are always losing some dear ones. Someone very important for us, like Srila Acharya Maharaj, but also some family members, some other members of our devotional family. And these news are always everywhere. Here this morning, in our daily reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we also were told that some also senior lady, by the age of 99, also she passed away. Was the relative of some of our members here in Mexico, some of our devotees here in Mexico, in Veracruz. And 3 days ago, on the 17th perhaps, she passed away. Very elder, senior person.
Dandavad Srila Janardhan Maharaj, Dandavad.
Srila Janardhan Maharaj, Dandavad. Srila Trivikram Maharaj, Dandavad.
Dandavad
Maharaj, Dandavad. Dandavad Maharaj. Dandavad Maharaj.
Dandavad Srila Trivikram Maharaj.
Dandavad Sneha Maharaj, Dandavad Srila Janardana Maharaj, Srila Ashra Maharaj, Sadhu Maharaj, all the devotees, my Dandavad pranams.
Dandavad Srila Trivikram Maharaj. Well, we were just introducing and saying, offering our dandavats and hellos to everyone for Trivikram Maharaj and Janardhan Maharaj, which arrived a little late. A little later. And Praneshwari, I don't know if you would like to give some of our information you told us of today's meeting.
Yes, I was mentioning before that we were invited by Mahalakshmi and Ravindra Krishna Prabhu to a meeting with Shripad Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj, and it was a joyful meeting. It was very sweet. He started with kirtan, and all of us were rejoicing in our hearts because we remember how Srila Acharya Dev would start meetings with kirtan. So that was the mood. That was so special and so sweet. And Nidhi Maharaj is we feel, at least in my case, I felt today that he is slowly accepting the idea that we all want to support him. We all want to help the mission to continue. And he is getting ready to do that, I feel. That's what I feel. He wants to join. He will continue meetings every Sunday. And immediately when their meeting is finished, will come and join the global meeting here. So it's a wonderful opportunity to start again with this mood of preaching globally. And Ravindra Krishna Prabhu and Mahalakshmi can say something because they are the hosts.
Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats Janardhan Maharaj, Dandavats Ashram Maharaj, Dandavats Dandavats Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, we make some small gatherings initially, and when Acharya Maharaj left, and actually Maharaj, Bhakti Tilak Nidhi Maharaj was initially reluctant, but somehow he was kind to come, and then we continued. and then the numbers increased day by day. We started with maybe less than 10 devotees joining, and slowly it's increased to maybe 15 and 17 and 20, and today we had about 40. And now Maharaj has very kindly, his confidence is up, and so many devotees out there, are asking help from him and support, and he's kindly come to support finally, and now he's joining the world meeting. We are very, very happy about it. I'm sure everybody is also very happy. Dandavat.
And Srila Janardhan Maharaj has shared in the chat the pranam mantra for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, both in English and in Spanish, as we are celebrating tomorrow.
Yeah. Ashram Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
I found this book.
Very good, very good.
And
I received your WhatsApp document with that verse of Srila Sridhar Maharaj glorifying Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Yes, you wrote it. It was your book. And this book also published by the original published by Guardian of the Devotion Press. So then I made photocopies of the one in Spanish, and then I changed them to PDF and combined them, so you can get those. Estos están disponibles en español. Prabhupada Pranam, que estaba en glorificación de Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur por Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So it's in Spanish, and it's also in English. Can you download them? You can...
Yes, no problem. It downloads perfectly in PDF.
Okay. That was actually Ashram Maharaj. He published his book called El Guardián de la Devoción, and he made it bigger. It's bigger than the original, and he has a whole. The original was the relationship between Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and Srila Sridhar Maharaj, but the Spanish one also includes a section about the relationship with Srila Govinda Maharaj. And then the Spanish one also has the Chatu Shloki, and it's got many things. It has part of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. It's a very nice book. If this book could be even published in English, it has many sections that were added. Some sections that were added. Ashram Maharaj published this, I don't know, like maybe almost 30 years ago or something, 25, 30 years ago. And it's really a beautiful book. But it has that pranam mantra of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And maybe we can read that in English and Spanish. Ashram Maharaj, is okay? If we...
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, but right now, we had some introduction about Nirih Maharaj, and I don't want to interrupt that. So, you were... Praneshwar, you were continuing. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, Maharaj, no. I just invited Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi, and Ravindra Krishna Prabhu because they are hosting the meeting, and the mood of Nidhi Maharaj is so sweet, so humble. So if we can invite him, to say something. Satyabhama is here. I think I saw her, so she can translate.
Yes, I'm here. Maharaj,
here.
do you want me to ask Niriha Maharaj to say something?
Niriha Maharaj, your microphone. Please open your microphone so we can hear you. And Satyabhama is here.
Yeah,
She
sorry.
can translate.
Didi,
Maharaj,
I want to hear. For that, I want to join every Sunday. I want to continue every Sunday. I want to hear Sila Akram Maharaj, Sila Janardhan Maharaj, Sila Trivikram Maharaj. I want to hear.
Very humble. He wants to hear both of you, Maharaj, and Trivikram Maharaj as well. I think Acharya Ratna is getting ready to share the screen for Janardhan Maharaj to read the pranam mantras.
Yes, 1 second, please.
Absolutely.
Sila Janardhan Maharaj.
Okay, I'm going to just... I just want to see what... I want to see, there's 2 pages, one, I don't know which is which I want to do. Is this Acharya Ratna? Is this the first page? There were 2 pages. This.
Yes, Maharaj, there are 2 pages.
Okay.
The one on the screen is the first one on your PDF, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yes, it's the same.
Okay. This is called Pranam. What is the title? It's Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Prabhupada Pranam by Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. Okay. And this is the introduction. You can say, although outwardly he was like a lion, inwardly he was very, very sweet. Yet it could be traced only in his internal sweetness. Outwardly, the way of love was worshipped by him with grandeur and awe and reverence, but his object was the simple and beautiful divine love of Vrindavan, and his temperament in establishing that in the world was just like a lion's. After his departure, I described his life in one shloka. If he were living today, I think he would say that Srila Sridhar Maharaj has imprisoned me in a cage of poetry. And this is the shloka. Nikila Bhuvana Maya China Vachina Kartri. Nikila Bhuvana Maya China Vachina Kartri. Vibhuta Bahulan Mrigya Mukti Mohanta Datri. Shiti Lita Vidi Raga Radya Radesha Dani. Vila Satu Ridi Nityam Bhakti Siddhanta Vani. With his first step, he vigorously cut asunder the whole plane of exploitation, and with his second, he has put a stop to all the calculation, liberated stages. With his third step, he has minimized the hardness and stiffness of the rules and regulations of calculative devotional service by a touch of divine love. Crossing Vaikuntha, he has given us the worship of Radha and Govinda. Calculation, the rules and regulations, awe, reverence, all these things are minimized, checked, slackened with the softness of Vrindavan within and with the hardness of a devastator without. He created, okay, let me say that again. Calculation, the rules and regulations, awe, reverence, all these things are minimized, checked, slackened with the softness of Vrindavan within, and with the hardness of a devastator without. He created havoc in the material world, fighting with one and all. Single-handedly fighting against the whole world and cutting asunder everything. That was his external attitude. And his second attitude was to put a stop to all scholarly researchers and doctorates of different departments and to stop their boasting research. And third, to minimize, to slacken the grandeur of the worship of Narayan. He caused the domain of love to descend into this plane with the service of Radha Govinda, establishing the flow of divine love from the heart as all in all. With that, we come to serve our object of worship, and he represented the service of Radha Govinda as the highest attainment. That was his history. The real existence of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is in Bhaktisiddhanta Bani, his divine teachings. May that Bhaktisiddhanta Bani dance eternally within the core of your heart. So this is, let me see. So maybe, Charyaratna, you can put that in Spanish.
This is the version in Spanish of the book Guardian of the Devotion, Maharaj. This is the version in Spanish, Maharaj.
Ashramars will read that.
¿Pueden agrandarlo un poco más, Acharya Ratna?
Can you start? Show the top of the page, so. Stop. Queremos ver la foto también de. No. La foto de Srila Prabhupada. Okay. ¿Por qué está azul? Okay.
Abajo en el pie de la fotografía está la forma como empieza quizá el.
Ashramar, como te mandé a ti, tiene la cosa en no como dos páginas juntas, es solo un archivo.
Okay. No, a mí me lo enviaste varias páginas. Pues sí, no. Pero aparece por separado, ¿verdad? La fotografía del texto, son como tres fotografías en un documento, o algo así.
Sí. Acharya Ratna, después te mandé, el segundo archivo está, que te mandé, es un PDF en español.
Yes, Maharaj. I'm just opening.
Claro, tiene que estar redactado por ti porque es diferentes tamaños, pero son 3 páginas.
Okay, Maharaj.
Okay.
Esa parte, ahí se ve muy bien.
Okay.
¿Lo leemos?
Sí, Maharaj.
En esta pie de página dice Srila Sridhar Maharaj, en referencia a Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, su maestro espiritual. Aunque externamente era como un león, en su fuero interno era muy, muy dulce. Eso solo podía percibirse en su dulzura interna. Externamente, él adoró la senda del amor con reverencia, con respeto y con fastuosidad. Sin embargo, su meta era simple y hermosa. el amor divino de Vrindavan. Y el temperamento que él adoptó para establecer eso en el mundo fue justamente el de un león. Después de su partida describí su vida en un shloka, una estrofa. Si él estuviera viviendo, creo que diría: ese Sridhar Maharaj me ha aprisionado en una caja de poesía. Prabhupada Pranam. Nikila Bhuvana Maya China Vichina Kartri Vibuda Bahula Mrigya Mukti Mohanta Datri Sitilita Vidhi Raga Radya Radeshadani Vilasatu Hridi Nityam Bhakti Siddhanta Vani. Con el primer paso, él cortó de tajo todo el plano de la explotación, y con el segundo, él puso un alto a todos los cálculos de los varios eruditos y sus diferentes conceptos sobre la salvación y los estados liberados. Con el tercer paso, él vino a minimizar la dureza y la rigidez de las reglas y las regulaciones del servicio no espontáneo. Esto lo logró por ponernos en contacto con el amor divino. 2 puntos. Cruzando Vaikunta, nos ha dado la adoración de Radha y Govinda. La mentalidad calculadora, las normas y los principios regulativos, el respeto, la reverencia, todo esto se minimiza, se inhibe, se afloja con la suavidad de Vrindavan que llevaba dentro de sí. Mientras que exteriormente, con la dulzura de un devastador, creó caos en el mundo materialista.
No, Maharaj, con la dureza.
Perdón, ¿qué dije?
Sí, tú dijiste con la dulzura, pero es con la...
Perdónenme. Con la dureza de un devastador, creó caos en el mundo materialista y luchó contra todo. Sin ninguna ayuda, luchando contra el mundo entero y cortando todo de tajo, esa fue su postura externa. Y su siguiente actitud fue la de poner un alto a todos los eruditos, investigadores y doctorados de los diferentes departamentos. Al poner al descubierto su jactanciosa labor de investigación. Y tercera, minimizar, aminorar la fastuosidad de la adoración de Narayana. Con el servicio de Radha Govinda, él hizo que el dominio del amor descendiera a este plano, estableciendo como la cosa suprema el amoroso flujo divino del corazón. Con esto venimos a servir el objeto de nuestra adoración, y él representó el servicio de Radha Govinda como el logro más elevado. Esta es su historia, la verdadera existencia de Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada se encuentra en el Bhaktisiddhanta Vani, sus divinas enseñanzas. Que ese Bhaktisiddhanta Vani dance eternamente en lo más profundo de vuestros corazones.
Then what we read was taken from 2 books. The first one was from a publication called The Guardian of Devotion. This was published originally by the Guardian of Devotion Press when it was in San Jose. That was Srila Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj's press when he published the books of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, principally. And the second is from this book, which I mentioned, is compiled by Ashram Maharaj, and I guess Jai Balai, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's called El Guardián de la Devoción. And if we can, I don't know if Acharya Ratna, I don't know if this book is available to the Spanish-speaking devotees.
Yes, Maharaj. It's already available in PDF.
The whole book?
The whole book, yes, Maharaj.
Oh, it's a wonderful book. Very nice book.
I will share on the chat for the devotees, Maharaj.
Okay. Very nice. I don't know if we have a PDF of original book in English. The English one, the Spanish one is about 3 times as big as the English one. It has other really nice other articles and everything about Govinda Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, their relationship, part about many things. So that's in the Spanish book, though. All right. So we have in the chat these two books. If the two Prabhupada Pranams in English and Spanish. If people want to download them, because tomorrow we'll be having a program for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance. Although I think that in Singapore it's already Monday, right? Ravindra Krishna.
I think it's 11:42, almost midnight.
Yes.
Maharaj, Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat. Is it Sunday or Monday in
Sunday, Maharaj. Sunday, Maharaj.
Sunday. Okay.
20 more minutes.
Okay.
So 20 more minutes to become Monday, Maharaj.
And then Monday you're having the program for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, or did you have it today?
Tomorrow, Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Maharaj.
So then there's also the Pranam mantra.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah.
I send you some photographs, Maharaj, regarding regards to Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day.
Okay, yeah, I received them. I haven't looked at them all yet.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Maharaj, just a small thing. Before you arrived, we request you to pray, and all the devotees to pray for one of the mothers of the Singapore devotee, Tulasi Devi Dasi. She passed away.
On the 16th.
On the 16th, last Wednesday, she passed away. So please think of this devotee and give her your blessings.
Can you say her name again?
Tulasi Devi Dasi.
She's actually the family is here. Would you like to speak to them?
Kapila Muni.
Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats Maharaj. I'm Kapila Muni Das, and this is my wife, Bonisuri Didi. And the mother name is Tulasi Devi Dasi. She is a disciple of Sri Acharya Maharaj. She's about 98 years old.
98. Wow. A very long and glorious life. So we're all honored that you brought up her memory in this group, in this assembly, and that we can show respect to the passing of elderly and dear Vaishnav, someone who is dear to our Singapore community, to the Singapore community here represented by Ravindra Krishna and Mahalakshmi. Yesterday also in Spanish we had a program, and yesterday was the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Premik Siddhanti Maharaj, and he was known by many of the devotees.
Dandavat Srila Bhakti Pravanjanarda Maharaj.
Dandavat.
Atra Maharaj Dandavat. Todos los Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, honorables Dandavas.
Dandavat. Dandavat. Bhakti Bandava Puri Maharaj.
Dandavat. Hey, Niriha Maharaj, Dandavas. Happy to see you.
I also happy. How are you?
Fine, thank you, fine. I miss you. I want to see you in Nishingapali.
Yeah.
That will be possible?
Yeah, possible.
Perfect. I love to hear that.
Where is Niriha Maharaj now?
Niriha Maharaj, where you are now?
In Singapore.
Nishingapali, wow. Great. But you are in Nishingapali in our temple?
What?
You are in Nishingapali in our temple?
Yeah, temple.
Oh. Good news.
Maharaj, can I say something?
Of course, Maharaj.
I have there is a couple of devotees joined today. They are new in our meetings, and they took initiation from me, and I want to introduce them to the international community. His name is Prana Krishna Das, Prana Krishna Prabhu, and Sundari Didi. So they are from Holland, and they just opened a new ashram in Spain with deities, worship, and everything. And they already hosted Ramanuja Prabhu from Venezuela. He's living in Spain, and more devotees from Australia. It's a beautiful project.
I have seen, this is good. They got a farm?
Well, they call Finca Govinda.
Finca Govinda. Yeah, this is in the Spanish we call finca, but this is like a farm.
Yeah, so they are from Holland, and they moved to Spain. They bought a property, and they started a new place to worship and to host devotees. They joined the first time they joined the meeting, the international meeting. We can say hello.
They are connected now in the Zoom?
Yeah. The name is Prana Krishna. He can say something, Prana Krishna Prabhu.
Prana Krishna Prabhu. Oh. Prana Krishna Prabhu, Dandavas. ¿Hablas inglés?
Sí, habla inglés, poco español.
Prana Krishna Prabhu. How are you?
Yes, we are fine. Like Maharaj said, we now live here for 3 months, and there was a lot of work to do. But even though it's very harsh to work that hard, but it looks like everything was coming by itself. Like Krishna was really watching our back, if you know what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, I saw Ramanuja Prabhu sent me a photos, a picture, and the place looks beautiful.
¿Son españoles? ¿Son originalmente de España?
He's from Holland.
Oh, from Holland, okay.
Yeah, she's from Suriname, but she moved to Holland when she was a kid. But she's from Indian background.
Yeah, she looks like Bengali.
No, not Bengali. That was pronounced.
¿Qué monacho?
Do they both of you speak Spanish?
No, not yet.
No.
We are trying. We have the lessons.
What part of Spain are you at?
Alicante, La Romana. It's a very small village near Alicante. It's by car about 20 minutes drive from Alicante, land inwards.
Where is Alicante?
Alicante.
And Ishbari lives.
Yeah, but what part of Spain? North, south?
Oh, the middle. I think middle. Oh, yeah. The middle of Spain? No?
Yeah.
We are from Valencia.
Okay. Near Valencia.
It's in the south of Spain, Maharaj. Don't know what to pronounce. It's in the south of Spain.
Ashram Maharaj, are you still here?
Yes, I'm here.
Ashram Maharaj, he has a Spanish passport. Maybe sometime he can go there and visit.
Sure. Everybody is welcome.
Yeah, I have a Spain passport and I have never been in Spain. I'm a Spain citizen, which has never been in Spain.
That's because his parents are from Catalonia.
Oh,
okay.
Barcelona.
It's at the time of civil war. At the time of civil war, many Spaniards, especially those who lost, who were against Franco, they had to go out of Spain. And then Mexico, they did a very good move. At that time, the president of Mexico, Cárdenas, opened an open invitation to all these refugees from Spain, and said, anyone who would like to come to Mexico, we will provide him here with a friendly country to receive you. So many people from that time, they came to Mexico. And my parents, my mother, my father, they came and they established themselves in Mexico, and they accepted they became immigrants.
Wow.
But then Spain has, after many years, Spain came out, the Congress of Spain came out with some resolutions that those sons of those people who left Spain because of the war, they can also claim their Spaniard citizenship. So I asked, hey, I need to change my Mexican citizenship. No, you don't need. You can have both. They're all right. Then let me have my passport, Spaniard passport, which is useful, especially if you are traveling in Europe. You will have some credentials there to move to one country or another and not get so much obstacles.
Yes.
Blessings are coming to Spain because Ashram Maharaj will soon visit you, and Trivikram Maharaj.
Yes. Yeah.
Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, he stayed already in Spain.
Yeah,
I
lived in Spain, and my grandmother was from Almeria.
Almeria, all right. He stayed at the times of ISKCON there in Spain, no, Maharaj? You told us.
Yeah. I lived for 1 year, and maybe they could show a little bit. I don't know if you're in the meeting with a camera or computer, but you could show the deities and the surrounding areas, the garden.
Yes, I hope that my Wi-Fi connection is strong enough, but I'm going to switch to the front camera now, and then I can show you something.
It's a beautiful place.
Perfect.
I visited Spain during the time of Franco, but I didn't have his darshan.
Which places, Maharaj?
Well, I went by train. I entered from France, and I went all the way through. I went south through Madrid and down to Malaga.
They are showing the deities, Maharaj.
Oh, the deities there.
Okay.
Radha Krishna and Mahaprabhu.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Ramanuja Prabhu, ¿a qué distancia está la finca que compraron ellos de tu casa?
Dandavasila Puri Maharaj, Dandavasila Kuswara Maharaj, Dandavasila Trivikram Maharaj. Maharaj está normalmente a 50 minutos, casi una hora de nuestra casa. Está muy cerca.
¿Está cerca?
Sí, sí.
Como unos 60 kilómetros por ahí.
Algo así.
Todos los domingos se están reuniendo ahí.
Bueno, ellos se están reuniendo normalmente todos los domingos, pero nosotros esta vez hoy no vamos a poder ir porque Iswari tiene un compromiso con su madre, entonces ahorita ya con ella. Pero quizás para el próximo domingo vamos.
Ramanuja, ¿has ido ahí?
Sí, Maharaj, nosotros estuvimos allá hace 15 días. Estuvimos allí, muy bonita la finca, muy grande. De hecho, Iswari tiene un contacto y compraron unos pavos reales. Compraron 2 pavos reales y ya lo tienen ellos allí.
Yeah, you did nothing. I did.
Y el terreno que nosotros tenemos queda como a 1 hora más o menos.
Grande la propiedad. ¿Cuántos metros cuadrados tiene eso?
2,000. The backyard is 2,000 square meters. Yes.
Oh.
And do you have the deities? Does the deities have name?
The deities name.
2,000 square meters is what they call una quinta, no?
Un cuarto de hectárea, 2.500 metros, un cuarto. Nosotros tenemos aquí un cuarto de hectárea, 2.500 metros, nuestro templo aquí en Quito.
¿Y cuántos metros es una quinta? Cuando
no sé a qué le llamen quinta, pero
en Venezuela dicen, yo escuché
Puri Maharaj, sube un poquito tu volumen, no sé por qué se escucha muy bajo el volumen. No, el de Puri Maharaj, Janardhan Maharaj.
Prana Krishna Prabhu, regarding the deity's name, does they have a name?
Yes, they do.
Because
no.
Here we have like Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Sundar, like Janardana Maharaj gave the name for our deities, so became Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Madana Gopal Sri Giriraj Jiv. So what's the name for the deities?
Our deities does not have a name yet.
Srila Janardana Maharaj can give a name.
No, they have a name. They're she. Can I see the deities?
Yes, you can. We also get a pen, but
no, just to see the deities. Yeah, it's just Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Ju.
Right.
Wow, that was a bit too fast for me.
You have to write.
Yes, and then I have to study for 3 years to remind the name.
No, they're just the names of the deities. That you know, there's Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Radha Govinda, right? So I just said Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda. Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Ju.
Gauranga Radha Govinda
Ju. Ju means all of them. All of them. J-I-U, Ju.
Yes.
In Bengali it means all of them. Ashna Riha Maharaj, if it's correct.
Riha Maharaj,
Dandavat. Dandavat Maharaj. Maharaj, I don't know actually Jiv means.
You don't know what is the meaning of Jiv?
I don't know, Maharaj.
Oh. This is Bengali.
Ahora hemos escuchado algo, y es la forma de referirse a alguien con respeto.
Yeah, like G, like if you say Swamiji, Swamiji,
Así es.
Swamiji is singular, and if you say three, like Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda, then you don't say G because there's three, so you say Ju, J-I-U.
Plural.
Yeah, plural. Plural of G, like Swamiji. Like I could say about Ashram Maharaj or Puri Maharaj or Trivikram Maharaj, I could say, Swamiji, please say something today. Or Niriha Maharaj, Swamiji. Swamiji. And then when there is 4, Ashram Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj, Puri Maharaj, and Niriha Maharaj, then I will say, Swami Ju. Yeah. Like that or something. I don't know. I just heard it from Govinda Maharaj. Swami Ju.
Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Ju.
Yeah, you don't have to say the Jew. You just can say Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda.
Yes.
PJ.
PJ.
Okay.
Maharaj, I cannot find a better person to glorify Siddhanti Maharaj than you. Could you speak some words about him? His loss, his leaving is a very big loss for the Vaishnava community. So maybe you can say something.
There's so much to say about Siddhanti Maharaj, but I will say that Srila Govinda Maharaj, Siddhanti Maharaj was first of all, Siddhanti Maharaj began long time ago in the mission of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When I came to India in February of 1971, and at Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he had been to India, he had been in Gujarat state and preaching there along with Western devotees. And at that time, Siddhanti Maharaj was called Chidananda Prabhu. He was a brahmachari, Chidananda Prabhu. He had joined with Srila Prabhupada, I believe in 1968 or 67 in San Francisco. And then he went to India in 1970, and he was with Srila Prabhupada when Prabhupada was mostly in Gujarat, state of Gujarat. And when I came there in February 1971, that was about 5-6 months later, or maybe a little more, Siddhanti Maharaj wasn't in India anymore because he had got tuberculosis. He had left India, he had tuberculosis, so he left. But when I came there, I heard Srila Prabhupada speak of Siddhanti Maharaj, then Chidananda. And at that time, we always thought that the word pure devotee would refer to Prabhupada or Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Srila Sridhar Maharaj. It's like our acharyas or Srila Acharya Maharaj. We would think of them as pure devotees. But at that time, when I heard Srila Prabhupada refer to Chidananda, he said, "Oh, he's a pure devotee," and I was very amazed that to hear that somebody who was like of our group was referred to by Prabhupada as a pure devotee. We consider that very high praise. And so I also saw that Chidananda's name was in some of Srila Prabhupada's books because he had contributed to the publication of the Krishna book and other books. At the time when Siddhanti Maharaj joined with Prabhupada, he was driving a taxi, and he saw Srila Prabhupada, I don't know, walking or something on the road, on the street, and he saw Prabhupada, and he also saw, he was Indian guru, he could see, and he thought Prabhupada looked sad, but that is the way Prabhupada's natural kind of, when he's just looking straight ahead, his mouth goes down a little bit at the corners, and that's just the way Prabhupada's face is. He wasn't sad, but Siddhanti Maharaj thought he was sad. So then he wanted to help. He wanted to help, and he wanted to join and serve Srila Prabhupada. And he joined the mission then. And when I came to Srila Sridhar Maharaj's mission, and Siddhanti Maharaj, at that time, he was still Chidananda Prabhu, and I met him in San Jose. He was serving, there was a temple of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, his mission, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Matth. I think they called it the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mandal, like that, in San Jose. And Siddhanti Maharaj, I saw him there. Then when I went to, Siddhanti Maharaj went to India, and he was with Srila Govinda Maharaj, and he was always with Srila Govinda Maharaj. Whenever Govinda Maharaj would travel, Siddhanti Maharaj would be with Govinda Maharaj, and often he would buy tickets for the devotees. He would buy tickets for the travel tickets for Govinda Maharaj, and he would help Govinda Maharaj's servitors, like those persons who were traveling with Govinda Maharaj. Sometimes he would help them also with their tickets to different countries. And the nature of Siddhanti Maharaj was very, very kind and very generous. He was generous to everybody. And I remember here in Soquel, he often helped the devotees. He helped the devotees, sometimes knowingly and sometimes unknowingly, because as Srila Govinda Maharaj said, sometimes devotees took advantage of Siddhanti Maharaj's nature and they cheated him a little bit. But they would borrow money and not pay him back or things like that. But also when Siddhanti Maharaj was here, we also had one dog who had some serious medical problem with the dog, and it was going to cost over more than $2,000 to save that dog, to operate on the dog, and nobody had money for that. But Siddhanti Maharaj paid for that dog to have the operation and everything. A very, very kind man. And the nature of, and Srila Govinda Maharaj said, if any of my disciples want to know what is Guru Bhakti, they can take the dust from Siddhanti Maharaj's feet. Srila Govinda Maharaj said that. So, and at the same time, Siddhanti Maharaj was very individual, very, very different. He's like an avadut, but I called him a fruitadut, because he always used to buy so much. He used to, when he was in India, he would always buy like come in. Oh, wait 1 second. 1 minute. We're talking. Yeah, we're talking about Siddhanti Maharaj.
Oh, nice.
Just Mahalakshmi and Ravindra Krishna, they asked to speak something about Siddhanti Maharaj. So then, as I was saying, in India, he would also always, I called him a fruitadut because he was like an avadut, but he also ate, he would always buy papaya, he would make papaya juice, he was always going to the market. He was a very pure devotee and like that, very wonderful person, and at the same time I said, I described many of his qualities before he came, but this is Vishaka's here now, and also Krishna Kanti, they came. And his way of talking was like he would say people's names wrong. That was one of his things. Like, what did you say he called you?
Damayani.
When Vishaka was, before she took like saffron, that Govinda Maharaj gave her. Oh no, but I'm saying Srila Govinda Maharaj gave you saffron. Before when she was initiated, her name was Damayanti, and what did
Damayani.
Damayani. Siddhanti Maharaj called her Damayani always, and many names. He got. I was one of the lucky persons. He got my name right, but he would call Shruta Shravat called Suta sometimes, and Uda Manu, and like that. But he is very, very wonderful. Just like, what can I say? I mean, he was like that, and he was little eccentric.
He was a gentle soul. Really.
Very gentle. Yeah. Very gentle. He never would hurt anybody. Impossible to think. But he was also our dear friend. And when he became ill, Govinda Maharaj asked me if he could come to Sokel and get treatment here, medical treatment, because I mean he was dying of cancer. So for 2 years, 2 years he was living here upstairs with me. We have upstairs in Govinda Maharaj's house. I lived in that house, and one room was staying Siddhanti Maharaj. And every day the devotees would come, different shifts of devotees would come and read to Siddhanti Maharaj from Guru Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj's books and Prabhupada's books. They would read to him every day. The whole day he would be listening to devotees reading. Different shifts. Yeah?
You would get very angry when you try to take his service to clean the public toilets in Navadvip in Gaura Purnima. He would get very angry. That was his service and no one else.
Siddhanti Maharaj's father was a military man. He was like a colonel in the military. And Siddhanti Maharaj, and Siddhanti Maharaj was really unusual. When he was younger, I met his brother. His brother came to his Shraddha program for Siddhanti Maharaj, and his brother said they admired Siddhanti Maharaj because when he was younger, he was an athlete. In the high school, he was an athlete in 2 or 3 different sports. Who could have imagined? I could not imagine that Siddhanta Maharaj was a star on the football team and everything like this. He is so tall. He's very, very tall and very thin, very extremely thin. But and anyway, then, well, his father was a military man, and his father asked Siddhanta Maharaj. His father said, "What do you do there in India?" And the way Siddhanta Maharaj spoke in different ways, he said, he's referring to in a way that his father could understand. He said, "Oh, I take care of the headman's dogs." That's what he told his father. He told his father, a military man, "I take care of the headman." That means Govinda Maharaj. "I take care of the headman's dogs." And his father was not very impressed by that. And then his father said, "Where do you live?" And he said, "I live in Dum Dum Park in Calcutta." He said, "I lived in Dum Dum Park." And his father said, "Well, I guess that says it all." Because he was thinking the word dum dum, meaning tonto tonto, no? Like Dum Dum Park. But actually, Dum Dum Park is named after the munitions factory in Calcutta, the Dum Dum bullet. There was a bullet used in the First World War called a Dum Dum. And that bullet was the munitions factory is in Calcutta, an old munitions factory. But anyway, I'm sure maybe his father knew that because his father is a military man. But he said, "I guess that says it all, dum dum," like. But it's like Trivikram Maharaj said, Siddhanta Maharaj would do. He took care of Govinda Maharaj's dogs. He was a watchman. He would be a watchman on the property. He would, late at night, he would be the el velador, the watchman. Anyway, and Siddhanta Maharaj passed away about 1 month before Govinda Maharaj in 2010. And Siddhanta Maharaj called Govinda Maharaj to take permission from Govinda Maharaj to die. He was going to die, and he called Govinda Maharaj to tell him and to take permission from Govinda Maharaj, literally. And then Govinda Maharaj said, "Maharaj, we are all getting our karma fall." Because Govinda Maharaj also at that time, he passed away 1 month later. Govinda Maharaj also was very ill. And Govinda Maharaj telling Govinda Maharaj, "We're both dying." Govinda Maharaj said, "Maharaj, we are all getting our karma fall." That's what Govinda Maharaj said to Siddhanta Maharaj. Very beautiful. So that's true with all of us. We're all getting our karma fall. Every one of us. And that's what Srila Maharaj said in his book. Do you remember the line? He said, the pump of power. Govinda Maharaj always cited that poem. Govinda Maharaj liked that. Govinda Maharaj would say, the pump of power. Like that. Do you know, Ashram Maharaj, you know that quote, huh?
Boast of heraldry.
I know, Maharaj, but I don't know by mind the whole English.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe the boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that wealth and all that glory and all that,
And all that wealth and all that beauty.
All that wealth and all that beauty ere gave. The path awaits alike the inevitable hour. The path of what?
Path of glory.
The path of glory but leads to the grave. It was some kind of poem, meditation in a cemetery by, who is it? Something Gray?
Thomas Gray.
Thomas Gray, like that poem. The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that wealth and all that beauty e'er gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The path of glory but doth lead to the grave. You know. And that was ode on Govinda Maharaj Govinda Maharaj just said the pump of power. That's what he liked to say. He said the pump of power. Like anyway. But Govinda Maharaj said that to Siddhanti Maharaj. Maharaj, we're all getting our karma fall. But I like the most thing I especially remember that Govinda Maharaj very much loved Siddhanti Maharaj, and he said, if any of my disciples want to know what is Guru Bhakti, they can just take the dust from Siddhanti Maharaj's lotus feet. That's what Govinda Maharaj said. Very nice person, very beautiful person. That's not to say that we didn't get into arguments sometimes. I sometimes got in arguments with Siddhanti Maharaj. I remember one time we were in Russia. I think Ashram Maharaj was staying with me in the same room in Russia, in the temple. We both sharing the room. Even Ashram Maharaj and myself, we got into arguments. But then one night, it was like they had programs there in Russia late at night till 1 in the morning in Russian plays, because they didn't want the devotees to bother the neighbors, so they kept the devotees in the temple with plays in Russian. And of course we couldn't understand anything, but we couldn't go to sleep either, because I lived right next to, I lived in a room, right outside the room was the play, and Ashram Maharaj was in that room. And Siddhanti Maharaj, after the play, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, he said, everyone who wants to do Sankirtan out around the temple, they can join me. And I was like I was furious with Siddhanti Maharaj. 1 a.m. he wanted to do Naga Sankirtan, and that would bother the neighbors also, but he wanted to do Sankirtan around the whole temple at 1 in the morning. And I said, no. And then he said, he like went like this, like, you know, we'll all meet outside, you know. And I just like, I literally could not contain myself. What? We almost got into a fight at that time. He was wanting to do Naga Sankirtan around the neighborhood at 1 in the morning. It's like, it was inconceivable to me. But that's the nature of Siddhanti Maharaj. He was like, you know. Oh, and I remember that day too. I think it was the appearance or disappearance of Rupa Goswami. So, and so, Siddhanti Maharaj is also his dear friends. I remember were Jagadananda and also Aravinda Lochan. They were his really dear friends, you know. And it was this very, very kind of different group, huh? Anyway, we spoke about over an hour about Siddhanti Maharaj yesterday. And I'm sure Puri Maharaj, he remembers, and Anyway, it's getting a little late now, right? Yeah. 7. Oh, not so late. What time did we start? 7 o'clock. I was thinking we started at 6 o'clock. It's now 8:30, so only an hour and a half. I was thinking it was 2.5 hours. So tomorrow, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Divine Appearance Day. And Srila Govinda Maharaj told me I should always be here in Sokel in the temple for this day, not to have traveled outside, but he wanted me to be here for this day. Although if I was in India, I guess it would be all right. Does anyone have any questions while we're here? Puri Maharaj, ¿cuándo tienes que irte para el programa?
Ya en 5 minutos.
5 minutos. It reminds me of the story of Katvanga Maharaj. Katvanga Maharaj, he joined with he helped the demigods fighting, Maharaj Katvanga. So they gave him a boon that he would know when he was going to die, or something like that. You know that story, something?
Well, he helped them to win against the Asuras, and then they wanted to grant him a boon. And he said, well, before you give me boon, first can you tell me how much longer do I have to live?
Yeah, so he asked,
"Oh, you have 1 minute." Then he immediately left them, and he fully surrendered.
Yeah, Maharaj Katvanga. Then they wanted to give him some benediction, the demigods, and he said, "Okay, but before you give me a benediction, can you tell me how much longer I have to live?" And they said, "Oh, about 2 minutes." About 2 minutes. Then he gave up everything and surrendered. And it's stated in the scripture that you don't need a long time to surrender. 2 minutes is more than enough. And Maharaj Katvanga did that. So now I asked Puri Maharaj, when do you have to go to your Sunday program? And he said, now it would be in about 2 minutes. He has to go. So I was reminded of Katvanga Maharaj. Tell me, when am I going to die? In about 2 minutes. Oh, well, that changes everything. Then you don't have to give me any benedictions or anything. Just let me engage myself in devotion. You know, if we are thinking like that, we don't know when we're going to die. Actually, it could be, it could be in 2 minutes. It's possible. I remember with my father. My father, he heard about somebody died of a heart attack, and my father said, "Oh, that's a very nice way to die. No long suffering, no bad disease or anything. Just die suddenly." My father said like that. So then that was his desire, and one time he got that desire. He was with my mother, and he said, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go lie down." But when he was walking to the bed, about 1 foot before he could get to the bed, he just passed away, heart attack.
That was your father?
Yeah, my father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Maharaj, now is the time. Let me surrender to all of you.
Okay, Dandavad.
I'm no Katwanga, but I want to follow him.
You say that, and we're saying Dandavad.
I want to surrender at all of you.
Tomorrow we hope we can surrender to Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Acharya Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and we can Glorify Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Jai Niriha Maharaj, please accept my humble dandabats. Janardana Maharaj, Trivikram Maharaj dandavas, Azram Maharaj dandavas, todos los Vaishnavas dandavas.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat.
Trivikram Maharaj, Niriha Maharaj, they are still there?
Maybe not.
Dandavas.
Maharaj, one quick question before leaving, sorry. Would it be possible, I don't know if you're planning to do a broadcast tomorrow of the program?
Yes, we can do that. I will tell Chinmoy Dev, we will broadcast in Facebook and in Zoom. Both.
Thank you very much. Dandavat.
Dandavat. But that program will be at 11 o'clock here in SoCal in the morning, 11 o'clock. So in UK, in England, it will be at 7 o'clock at night, and at Spain, it will be at 8 o'clock. And in Mexico, at 1 o'clock. But Ashram Maharaj, he'll do his own program. I know he'll do a program. And Trivikram Maharaj, he'll do a program, and Puri Maharaj, they'll all do programs. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah. But anyone who wants to, I like to tighten this. Yeah, good. Nice. Look. So they can keep this away and then I can angle it. So it just...
Maharaj, tengo un comentario que hacerle. ¿Puedo?
Sí.
Trayendo a colación lo del terreno de los devotos, pues nosotros estamos muy contentos de que se haya manifestado aquí cerca de nosotros esta oportunidad pues para servir.
Tú puedes subir el volumen, no te escucho bien.
No puedo subir, Maharaj, porque eso lo tienen controlado allá, no sé de dónde lo controlarán.
Ah, ok. Bueno, yo no lo puedo subir tampoco. Okay.
Sucede y acontece que, como les decía, estamos muy contentos y nosotros vamos a darle todo el apoyo preciso para que ellos podamos salir adelante con este programa, pues. Pero resulta y acontece que hace exactamente un año, el año pasado, en el día de Nityananda, Iswari, se le presentó la oportunidad de un terreno y ella lo tomó y hizo el contrato, y entonces desde aquel entonces hasta esta fecha se ha estado pagando. Es un terreno de 8.000 metros de tierra. Pero entonces mi pregunta es, de hecho, el terreno que tienen los devotos de la finca Govinda está a 20 minutos del terreno que nosotros tenemos. Entonces, el año pasado nosotros habíamos comentado a Sripad Puri Maharaj para que hablara con Sri Charadeva y le comentara que teníamos este terreno, pero no se dio la oportunidad porque Sri Charadeva partió, entonces no pudo enterarse del terreno. Pero también habíamos hablado con Sri Kuswara Maharaj y él estaba muy contento por la noticia que le habíamos dado. Pero ahora mi pregunta es, ¿qué vamos a hacer nosotros ahora que ya está este nuevo ashram acá cerca de nosotros? ¿Qué hacemos con ese terreno entonces nosotros ahora? Porque tenemos pensado hacer un programa y...
¿En el terreno que tú tienes hay una construcción ahí?
No, Maharaj, está limpio, no hay nada. Tenemos solamente tierra. Hay que empezar desde cero.
Ok, entonces ustedes deben hacer una construcción. Cuando tienen la construcción hecha y todo, si quieren, pueden tener deidades ahí también. Porque el programa de Namhata está en las diferentes casas de diferentes devotos. Y lo que pueden hacer, porque La propiedad que tiene Prana Krishna es su propia propiedad, es de él y su esposa, ¿no? Y la propiedad que tú tienes es de ti y tu esposa, ¿no?
Sí, Maharaj.
Sí, entonces ustedes pueden construir algo allí y pueden también tener programas en tu casa, también pueden tener programas en tu lugar y tener programas en el lugar de Prana Krishna. Y hasta que realmente, por ejemplo, el ashram en Ecuador que tiene Puri Maharaj, ¿cómo se dice? La propiedad está en el nombre de la misión. La misión está registrada y está en el nombre de la misión. Entonces diría yo que hasta que tiene la propiedad en el nombre de alguien donado a la misión o no donado, pero en el nombre de la misión y con deidades, entonces hacemos programas en las diferentes casas o los lugares apropiados de los devotos y eso se llama Namahata. Entonces si hay varias propiedades y están haciendo el programa en diferentes lugares, una semana aquí, otra semana allí, otra semana allí, eso se llama Namhat. Namhat es la misión, el programa de Nityananda Prabhu, Nadia Godruma, ¿no? Es su programa y establecido por Mahaprabhu, es el programa de Namahata. Si lees el Chaitanya Bhagavat, dice que ustedes deben juntar 10 de ustedes y tener programas en las casas de diferentes devotos. Entonces, ahorita mismo, no, eso fue como yo creo que eso fue una decisión hecha por Trivikram Maharaj. Estaba animado con estas personas que tenían propiedad y tenían sus propias deidades. Obviamente son deidades chicas de la familia. Entonces estaba tratando a animarles por decir que hacemos un programa allí y todo eso. Pero si tú tienes una propiedad y tú construyes algo en esa propiedad y es grande también, son 8,000 metros, es casi una hectárea, es muy grande, es como más o menos el tamaño del Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Match, pues pueden establecer un programa allí y pueden tener también deidades, incluso pueden tener deidades que si consiguen como deidades buenas, grandes y todo en ese programa. No es que porque decimos que hay un programa de Prana Krishna en su casa, que ya no hay más programas, ¿no? ¿Me entiendes?
Sí, Maharaj, lo entiendo perfectamente.
Ok, bueno, eso es.
Muchísimas gracias, Maharaj.
Ok, Dandava.
Maharaj, incluso en Brasil solo hay Namahata, no hay una misión oficial. No
with the exception of the ashram that's there in Campo del Jordão, that's not a Namahata program. That's the actual ashram in Brazil.
But it's not in the name of any institution.
It is, whether it's in the name or not. Govinda Maharaj came there. You gave the property and everything to Govinda Maharaj. Govinda Maharaj blessed the program. We call it an ashram.
Okay.
Yeah, and there may be ashrams in different cities too. That's in Campo del Jordão. Maybe they have a program. Maybe in the future maybe they have a program in Teresópolis or something like that, or Curitiba. There can be programs in different cities, right?
Copacabana.
Huh?
Ipanema.
No, not in Ipanema. Not in Ipanema. That's not a good. That's not a good place for a program. Okay, I don't know, maybe the devotees who are here speaks English, they didn't understand what I was saying. We were talking about...
Maharaj, just make a resume about what you were saying, and then I put it in the chat, Maharaj.
Okay, so basically, I was saying Trivikram Mars was encouraging Pranakrishna and his wife, what's his wife's name?
Sundari.
Sundari. Sundar, Pranakrishna and Sundari. That they can have a program in their house, and just like we have several Pranakrishnas and we also have several Sundaris, then we can have different programs in different people's properties. I have here, I don't know how many Sundaris we have here. I know one yesterday, maybe you don't know, but there's Sundari in Mexico, there's Sundari here.
England.
There's Pranakrishna here in America. There's Pranakrishna in Spain. So we have different cities, we have different ashrams. But when the Campo del Jordão, I mean, that is an ashram. And maybe there's other ashrams too, I don't know. But when we have programs in different people's houses or property, that's more Namhata. Anyway. Now I have my nice table here, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, any questions? Any other questions? That wasn't a question, but any questions?
Yes, Maharaj. When are you going to start making some recordings about your memories? Because they are so enlightening about everything that you have lived in your life that it will be amazing to have that for us.
I don't know. I don't like that idea. To make my memories. I have
Chandra, that is the work of all of us. Those who have appreciation for that, those devotees need to have, not to get the batteries, get that service and try to see how that can be accomplished.
First make the first make the memories of Ashram Maharaj. Then
he didn't express about Ashram Maharaj. He said Janardhan Maharaj.
But
those are very important too.
Very simple, very simple.
All right. I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to leave after this. Ya estoy listo salir. But it is getting late. We want to be able to have a nice program in the temple. And breakfast is here since a long time ago. And maybe... So anyway, I'm going to go for today. Today I'm going to finish here. But and tomorrow I'll broadcast from the temple. And if Ashram Maharaj, when is your program? What time?
Well, I'm here in Monterrey, so I don't know. We are going to try to get to do the program here. We have 2 hours difference, but almost all the temples here in Mexico, as I may guess, all around the world, they are going to celebrate the festival according to their schedules.
Oh, there's Madhuchanda.
Yes.
So, anyway, at least I could find those two the pranam mantras of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and they're in the chat. Madhuchanda, I don't know if you joined on time. Están en el chat. Those pranam mantras, PDFs de Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, están ahí en inglés y español. De estos libros, de este libro y de este libro. Yeah, I didn't go to Mangalarti. Instead, I made those. So I'm very fallen soul. Okay. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat Maharaj. Dandavat to all the devotees. Srila Trivikram Maharaj, Dandavat. Puri Maharaj already left.
Oh, one thing before we go, I had an idea. You know, my idea is, like we have these Sunday meetings, we should have, I don't know, most devotees have WhatsApp. We should make a WhatsApp page for everyone, and then we can put books there and different things, and the devotees can go to that WhatsApp page. Like all the devotees who are here in this Sunday program, and Niri Maharaj and everything, we can make a WhatsApp page, and for the one WhatsApp page for everyone, and then everyone could go there and be able it won't be to share, just talk about, not Gramya Kata, but it will be all about sharing books or something like that, and also informing devotees when there's meetings. So I don't know if anybody can make that kind of, or whether it's even practical, I don't know.
It's called the WhatsApp group.
For our group. Forum.
You can choose a name, and it's very easy to create. It's called the WhatsApp group, and everyone joins with their phone. No.
Okay, so you make the Praneshwar, you make the WhatsApp group. You make and you can name it. You can name it. You could name it Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math International WhatsApp group or something. I don't know. You can give it some name. All right.
Very well, Maharaj. Any devotee who has ideas for the name also, you can submit those ideas, and we present them to Srila Ashara Maharaj and to Srila Janada Maharaj, and then we create the group.
And Trivikram Maharaj and Puri Maharaj.
Also.
And Niriha Maharaj too.
And Niriha Maharaj.
And we can start getting things in Bengali or in Hindi. We want to get literature available to devotees in Bengali and Hindi. And there must be books published or articles published in Bengali and Hindi. And it will be good, because then they can be English, Spanish, and Hindi, Bengali, all available to devotees.
So a WhatsApp group dedicated to publications and announcements for programs?
Yes.
Okay.
Programs and announcements and publications.
Okay.
Careful, it's all falling apart. Okay. All right, my Dandavat Pranams, Dandavat Pranams, Dandavat Srila Ashram Maharaj, Dandavat Srila Trivikram Maharaj, Dandavat to
Niriha Maharaj.
Niriha Maharaj, she's not here now, Puri Maharaj is not here now, I think, but to others.
Was also around, I don't know if it is right now.
Okay.
A few moments ago.
Okay, Maharaj.
Dandavat Trivikram Maharaj, Dandavat Niriha Maharaj, Dandavat.
All the devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Srila Maharaj, Srila Janada Maharaj, Srila Trivikram Maharaj,
Dandavat.
Oh, and wait a minute, Rasamrita.
Sí, Maharaj.
Tú recibiste el mensaje de que Vishaka va ahí después, ¿no? Tú sabes.
Sí, Maharaj. Anoche me avisó.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. He's Dandavats.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavats.
Dandava pranams a todos los devotos.
Dandavad.
Dandavad. Por la Shri todos. Nos vemos en 8 días. See you next Sunday. Dandava pranam.
Dandavad.